There usually comes a moment where you just know it's time to face your fear. And then the mind starts to sneak in with following up questions. Well, how am I gonna do it? Can you give me a technique, a method to deal with it? How did it come to that situations? What can I do to truly understand it? And the answer is, it's all just distraction and bypassing. Well, there are basically two main ways when it comes to dealing with fears. And the one is the direct path, and the second one is the indirect path. But before we go into this, let's have a quick look at why we actually try to bypass something intellectually by trying to get an intellectual understanding or asking for a technique or a method to deal with it. Well, in school we got so much conditioned to intellectually grasp and understand things, to get a mental concept of something, that it started to become our second nature. And basically it's a conditioning, the need to understand anything intellectually. But here's the key point. Fear is not something which needs to be necessarily understood, but it is an energy which needs to be met and looked into its eyes directly. You can see already the difference, right? And the second reason why we look for a method or a technique, which is a subtle bypassing, is basically because deep down we know it's going to be very, very painful. Just imagine it yourself, to face your biggest fears, to move into that situation and to just be with it. That's going to take guts. Sometimes it can be so painful, especially when it's related to trauma, that you have the feeling you're going to die or just pass out. So the mind is very cheeky and tries to go around it by getting an intellectual understanding. But in this way, no wound will be healed, and you're actually not going to face fear truly. So what are the two ways? The first one is the direct way. You just look into the eyes of fear directly. Just bring yourself in the situation that you're really frightened of. Just bring yourself in the situation and be with it, and don't do anything. Just feel everything that is coming up. Fully, totally, and just be with it. That's the most direct way. Everything which is coming up are just thoughts about the past, typical reactions which you think might keep you safe. And you all just have to be with it. Don't do anything. You don't need to act on it. And I know this takes guts, but this is the most direct way. The second option you have, if it's just too much for you, or maybe even for your nervous system, specifically when it's related to trauma, it can be good to put it into small portions and prep it. So let's say you have social anxiety, then just start by talking to a stranger and ask for the time. Maybe the next time you speak publicly, and then later on you ask the girl out for a date that you actually like. And then step by step by step, you're giving your nervous system the feeling it's okay to talk. It's okay to be in contact with other people, and I don't know what to say or what's going to happen next. And then later on you come with a really big package and end up what the first step was basically about. And then there's basically a third way of living, which is reality of the majority of all the people nowadays. And it looks exactly like this. The people avoid, distract, suppress, and repeat over and over again until they're going to reach a point where they're so exhausted and fed up with that behavior, when there's just no question or chance of doing it again, they just can't. And then they're going to end up in option 1 or option 2. But yeah, basically The last path is not really something you want to do or go for, but if you watch this video right now, probably the first ones are more something for you. So to bring it on a point, when fear shows up, just pause. Stay there. Take a breath and feel it so it can burn completely through you. Because that's what needs to happen sooner or later anyway. And it always happens in the moment, so give yourself the chance so it can happen right now. So right now when you're watching this video, actually you know what to do. Just go out. Just write down your fears and act on it. Be with it. Just do it. Because it's not gonna help you to watch this video. Because I don't have any technique, nor any method for you, and I'm definitely not gonna give you more intellectual understanding than I gave already. Because you're just gonna use it for bypassing. And the moment you start to act on it, this is the moment where life is not theoretical anymore. It actually starts to be real. The direct path is quite simple, but it demands everything from you. And I know how uncomfortable it is. But give it a chance. And if you're gonna find yourself again bypassing, avoiding, and not facing your fears, remember this one. Suffering, basically, is just a lesson you refuse to feel, which has the universe given to you. And it's gonna repeat over and over and over again until you allow it. So there's no shortcut. So which one are you choosing? The direct path or the indirect? The third one is not an option at all. There's no shame in what you are or I am, even if it might feel sometimes. But let's agree on one thing. Let's not lie anymore. Just do what needs to be done.